Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I am Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, reporting to you live today about tariffs. I'm in my backyard. Wes is in his property with the cat hanging out. I don't know where my puppy is. He's probably ran off somewhere now. But we are reporting to you live and ready to talk about tariffs because as we're recording this, it was just announced today, technically, the reciprocal tariffs that President Trump has put into place. I've already talked to a couple real estate agents that are not happy about it. But you are the economist. You are the tariff expert. I am just a peon that tries to sell a house every day, or one a week would be ideal. And so I know nothing about. I can't wrap my head around tariffs, and I know what they are, but I can't wrap my head around. Are they good? Are they bad? Is what Trump doing good, bad? But what I've heard today is everything's bad. Everything's bad. It's not good. So here we are, live. Wes the Economist, take the floor.
The simple answer to all that is maybe.
that is the worst simple answer.
I've really been researching and studying tariffs now for about 2 months. Literally, I was telling my class today that my degree is in international economics. Literally, my graduate degree, I studied international economics. Of course, all that was back in 1990. So most of that is obsolete at this point with the new global economy. But I hadn't had a lot of time to stay up on international affairs since I just teach principles of economics, the basic economics. So I've been trying to catch up on some tariff stuff and all. And I really was surprised how many countries have tariffs on us. And I uncovered today, and I actually heard another guy talk about this on the radio today, on the guy who took over Bongino. I think his name's Vince. And he was talking about this, that a lot of these tariffs, especially from the European Union, have been in place since World War II. And they were put there on purpose to help grow Europe back to what it was before Hitler ran across it. And so we allowed the tariffs to happen. We allowed them to tariff our stuff coming in. But remember, back then, we were the manufacturing capital of the world. So everything was going from us to other places. So we were trying to help out with that. Also, keeping funds. Since they were buying our goods, they needed U.S. dollars. So the tariffs allowed them to have a pool of dollars to continue to buy our stuff. So there was a lot of economic things in place, but the idea was they would go away over time and that people would then come back to a flat playing field. But as we look back over time, it didn't go away. Not only did it not go away, it went up. I mean, one of the things that just blew me away was Canada when I looked at the tariffs as he started talking about it. And it was very hard to dig out post or pre-2025 tariffs on our stuff. But one that stood out to me was dairy, and it depends on the tonnage or the gallons that went across, but there was a quota. There was no tariff up to a certain point. And then I think it was butter and stuff. I may be wrong. Some dairy product that ended up being, if we hit that tonnage, everything above that was 273% tariff on everything. So they allowed our companies to import a little bit and export to them. But at one point, then there was no more exporting. And that really is across the board. And I know on X a while ago, I saw people are putting on the White House when they put the thing up about tariffs. They're saying that, well, no, that's not actually true. They went through all this stuff about reciprocal tax tariffs and that kind of stuff. But the point is, we are not on a straight playing field. Now, from a free market economist point of view, these tariffs are bad. We want a free and open market, free borders to be able to have free and open trade. But if we don't have that, then how do we get that?
Right.
So we cannot continue to let people just continue to fleece us. So that's one, to me, that's one prong of this. The second prong is he's using tariffs as ways to get what he wants for the U.S. I mean, he's already, I forget, have you seen lately the amount that's been invested in our country so far by manufacturers? Last I saw was 500 billion, but today I heard something like over $1 trillion already.
It's more than that. I think Apple alone is putting 500 billion. I think was it Larry Ellison that owns? I think that's his name, that owns Oracle and a couple of, and Nvidia is investing back. I think it's well over $1 trillion now.
And you got Taiwan, biggest chip maker, has Going to start making some of the chips here. Cards, foreign card manufacturers are coming to build factories here. So the other thing he's trying to do, obviously, is trying to get manufacturing back into the country. Which, if you go back 4 years, everybody was upset because we couldn't get masks, we couldn't get medicine, we couldn't get all this stuff because it was from China and China had locked down. So back then, everybody was all for let's bring this stuff back. But I don't think people realize to bring this stuff back, we got to have some pain. It's not.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right. Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.
It's not going to be an easy transition. So if you're looking long term, I don't think the tariffs are that bad because we don't have free markets. We don't have free trade. We have a lot of global tensions. We have a lot of our stuff that we need to be self-sufficient or to have security being controlled by some of our maybe not even enemies, but people who don't like us too much at least. So we've got to get it back over here. And how do we get it back over here unless we stop the flow of stuff coming across? Now, I've heard several times that people are saying, well, we'll just fund the whole government on tariffs like we did back in the 1800s. And that's not going to happen. When you look back in the 1800s, the government was a fraction of the size it was now. Its budget compared to GDP was a fraction of what it is now. And so we're never going to fund the whole government. But the projections I see are pushing somewhere between $750 billion to $1 trillion in income, which would take some income tax away if the people in Congress would pass it. And
Right.
That's the other problem. If we give them more money, they hardly ever give any back to us.
Yeah, yeah, that's the truth. So, from what you're seeing today, I mean, I know I have some of the numbers here, and I know you do too. What I don't understand is everybody's saying these tariffs will be bad, but why is it not bad what the tariffs are being charged to us across the board? I mean, you've got companies like Madagascar, 93% tariff on, they have a 93% tariff on us. Nicaragua, 36%, but we only tariff them 18% as of today. I don't even know what it was before today.
Not
So
much. Because I could bring coffee in. I looked at importing coffee one time and there was no tariffs on coffee.
Okay. So, I mean, why is it okay, and why have we let these countries get away with tariffing us so long? All of them. I mean, Bangladesh, Israel, Philippines, Chile, Australia, Pakistan. Why 88%? Sri Lanka has got an 88% tariff on us. Why China 67%? We're hitting them with now 34%. Why Vietnam 90% tariff? Why Cambodia 97% tariff? Why does all these countries get to tariff us like this? And for I don't know how long it's been like that, but why has it been okay so long?
For decades? And like I said before, it was to help them get back on their feet, and then they just kept doing it to us.
And nobody cared. Nobody thought it was a bad idea.
I mean, it's politicians. I mean, the politicians would have had to done something about it. And we look at our leadership the last 50, 60 years. We've only had a few people who stood in that really cared about doing stuff for the government. I mean, doing stuff for the people.
Right.
So it's just there. Now, fast forward to what you're talking about. All your friends who have investment, friends who are really upset about what's going on, they're looking at their short-term investments and worried about long-term investments, obviously, but they're seeing the stock market. I think they lost 3% today. The NASDAQ was around 6% last I looked. Hopefully it pulled back up. So you're looking at your investments and you're like, oh my gosh, this is bad. This is bad. But at the end of the day, yeah, they may be bad now, but what does a stronger economy 10 years from now look like in your investments? Now, obviously, if you're trying to make quick money, it's not going to happen. Of course, there'll be a lot of people make quick money because they're going to buy a load today and then wait on it, and they're going to make some money when it goes back up.
Right.
So the point is, and I just see another come across my feed. Trump has secured nearly $5 trillion in investment and trade commitments from across the globe. So right up on my feed, just what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So short term, yes, it's going to be painful. And somebody made the point today. He waited till yesterday to announce it because the special elections just happened in Florida. So now
Got it.
we're the farthest away from any election that we could be to do this because we are going to have a downturn in the economy. It is going to hit us. Now, other things I'm reading though, and obviously the majority of our imports come in from large corporations. And what I'm reading is most people who are predicting what's going to happen say that we're going to see most large businesses swallow some of this tariffs, if not the majority of this tariffs.
Okay.
So that's good for us. Now, with that said, small business can't do it. I know one. I heard of one business here in Conway, or there in Conway where I work at, that they've already had to go up on their prices because they knew it was coming because they're on such short margins they can't eat any of it. So
Okay.
we'll go ahead and see. There's my other cat now. Let's see. I hope we
Hey,
don't fight.
got the whole
We're gonna
family
see a
here.
cat fight right here. There you go. Y'all be
Right,
nice.
live. Yeah. You need the UFC when you got live cat fights on Zoom.
So I mean, it is going to be bad here short term, but I think if we go the route he's talking about, I do see a possibility of it getting much better in the long run. So, but let's back up a minute. um, if we see if we did not do any, let's do it like this. If we did not do anything, I saw a complete collapse coming. I mean, $36.7 trillion in debt. We're not changing our spending habits. Industry struggling. We're having problems with stuff coming from overseas. We're having global tensions. And so I saw something bad coming down the road. Of course, I've seen it for a few years now.
Yeah.
So we're going to have bad times no matter what. So now, yes, we're going through bad times, but we're doing it with some pain to hopefully get something on the other side.
Okay.
And I just feel like Washington continues to think, well, we just won't do anything and everything will be okay. And I've said it before when you laugh at me, I still see Washington as the capital in the Hunger Games more and more each day.
I mean, it's getting to the point where it's been as corrupt that it's not quite the Hunger Games or not making people fight to the death on live feeds, but other than that, it's about the same. I'd
Yeah,
give
you
you that.
got definitely not fighting to the death, but definitely destroying a lot of Teslas in the process.
Let's not get on that. I'm worried about my Tesla as we speak.
I don't blame you.
Um, Speaking of Hunger Games, I think they should do that with people on death row. Just do a Hunger Games.
Okay, I think we've gone long enough on
We
this
were done.
podcast.
We're gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah, I think we're about to. We can carry that on to the next one if you want to.
Okay, and then they could use the tax money, because they use our tax money so good anyway. So the revenue it generates, they could use it for something good, right?
I hope and pray we don't. Of course, I don't know. I hope we don't get that bad. But I don't know if you ever saw the old movie Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Them playing a game show that literally they got killed by the people who were the heroes.
I haven't seen that. I've seen a lot of his movies that are pretty good, but I don't think I've seen that one.
This was the one when he was flying a helicopter and they told him to take out this band of people, people protesters, and he told
Okay.
them, "No, I'm not doing it." And somebody overrode him and fired the stuff anyway. And then they edited the video showing him being the crazed guy to take him out, and they put him in jail. And back even then, I was like, man, I hope we never get to the point where videos can be made so real. Yeah, here we are. Um,
Yeah.
and then he gets put on this game show. It's in the future, and all these criminals get a chance to live if they can run the gauntlets. And so all these heroes they have, it's kind of like you ever see an old thing of American Gladiator?
Yeah.
It was set on that, except these guys had chainsaws and buzz saws, and they would kill all the people. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger beat them and
Of
took it
course he
away,
did.
and he won. Of course, he did. That's the movie. But
Arnold never
anyway,
knows. He's the Terminator.
so I just hope we never get that far down the path. Never know though.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not too far off, but hopefully we reverse it here soon.
All right, well, ready to move on to something else?
Yeah, I
And
think
we can
that's enough on
continue this.
I think that's enough of you telling me the economy is going to tank and I'm not going to have a job in 6 months. So yeah, let's move on to something else,
No,
Wes.
no, wait a minute. I never said any of that. I'm telling you, in maybe 6 to 9 months, you'll have that much more that'll be that you'll be able to make that much more money.
Well, I guess
Just
we
what you
shall
need.
see. Wes the economist being optimistic on a Thursday. I love it.
All right, guys, we'll come back for the next issue of Quick Clips, and we'll see you on there.
We'll see you around, guys. Thank you.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843 957 3872. That's 843 957 3872.
Happy New Year. And as we get the year started, let's get your financial picture in focus by getting a budget and getting those spending habits looked at. Reach out to me at coachwestc@gmail.com and we'll get you off to a good start.